This is probably my favorite Jeep Wrangler platform to get, the Jeep Wrangler option with the Eco Diesel. Not the 4xe, which is cool, not the one with the Pentastar. So if I was going to get a Wrangler, it would have to be the Eco Diesel because it's right off the line. It comes with a lot of the things that the regular Jeep Wrangler is missing, that off the line power, because if you're going to be getting the Jeep Wrangler, you're going to be getting it for off-road purposes, unless you're just one of these grocery grabber soccer moms like a lot of I see around my town. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Slay Edge Media, and today we got the brand new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Eco Diesel. So this is like kind of like taking everything that the Jeep Wrangler has been missing as far as the power, because a lot of people, when you get the Jeep Wrangler, one thing you wish you had is a little bit more power, a little bit more torque, for that bottom end power, when you get going. Say like if you're off road and you need a little bit extra punch to get over these big rocks or up a hill or something. That extra torque comes in handy with this 3-liter engine right here, because this engine is built similar to the way the foundation principles of the 6.7-liter Cummins engine is. This is a 3-liter V6 turbo engine built by Fiat, and it puts out 260 horsepower and 442 foot-pounds of torque. Now, everything about this vehicle is just the same like the other Wrangler, of course, except for the power plant. That means except for the engine, because V6 twin turbo. Now, the Wrangler comes in a naturally aspirated 3.6-liter Pentastar engine, as well as a 2.0 4xe. So it's electric 4-cylinder engine hybrid. You get a little bit of electric boost, or you can get the regular V6. But what those things are missing is that raw off the line power. Now you can always go up to the 392, but then you're going to be taking, you're going to take a hit, a big hit as far as fuel economy. But who cares about fuel economy? If you're going to be getting one of these, more than likely you're not worried about fuel economy. But let's get right to it, because I've been excited about this 3.6-liter, or actually 3.0 V6 engine, and it's been actually highly anticipated by a lot of people, not just by myself, because I've talked about this in a lot of my other vehicles. One thing that the Wrangler needs is a little bit more power, and that's what the Eco Diesel has. So let's get to it. Now, the great thing about this Jeep is I feel right at home being in this one compared to the other Jeeps. I've driven plenty of Jeeps. I've pretty much driven all the Jeeps that you could drive. Of course, not every single trim and everything, but I've driven the Wrangler, the Gladiator, the 2-door, 4-door, the Jeep 4xe. There's so many different trims. As also, I've driven the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, all the things that Jeep has. And one thing I haven't driven is the Eco Diesel. I've been pretty excited about it, and I'm glad I finally get the opportunity to drive it. Now, right at the line, I got to say that I've driven other diesel vehicles, and it has like glow plugs. You gotta warm up the glow plugs first before you actually start it. But this one, you don't have to do that. You just get in there, turn it on the same way you would do with the regular Jeep Wrangler, all the other Jeep Wrangler trims that's available out there. Because if you didn't know, there's a whole selection of Jeep Wranglers available. You got a 4xe, etc., etc. But we're gonna talk about the Eco Diesel today. In case you're wondering, in diesel fashion, this one does have that nice diesel sound. So it's got that it's got that gurgly sound that comes with diesel vehicles. A lot of the other Jeeps don't sound like this at all, unless you put like a special aftermarket exhaust, and even then it still sounds like a louder gas engine. This one sounds like it has that diesel sound, that signature diesel sound. And honestly, so far I already like it. I actually really like the sound of this stock exhaust. Keep in mind, this vehicle is not built for speed. It's built for off the line torque, so the best place to use that offline torque is going to be in off-road situations, because remember, all Jeep Wranglers come standard as like a trail rated vehicle. That's what this vehicle is advertised as. That's what it's marketed as. It's an off-road vehicle, so don't get it expecting it to be driving like a track hog or something, because it's not that vehicle at all. We'll get to those kind of vehicles in the future, so stay tuned, like and subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned for other content coming soon. But right now, we're going to be doing the Eco Diesel. So when I put my foot down on the gas, it does accelerate a little bit. It accelerates, I would say, similar to the regular Pentastar or the 4-cylinder with the electric edition, the 4xe. Kind of like a standard driving style on the road. It's because it's not geared to be a racing vehicle, nor does it have the power plant to be a racing type of vehicle. But like I said, that off the line torque does help to get help to get you going a little bit more off the line. So, like, say if this vehicle is loaded up to the max and you got stuff on the top and you're towing something in the back, that's what this vehicle is going to excel in. It's not going to, you're not going to be doing wheelies off the line, as ridiculous as that sounds. A lot of people, when they hear 442 foot-pounds of torque, they're thinking, oh, that means I'm going to be racing now. It's not that kind of vehicle. So just like all the other Jeep Wranglers I said before, all the interiors it's exactly the same. So if you've driven the regular Rubicon, it's the same thing inside. You got all the red accessories. You got the red panel in the front, red buttons inside here. You got the red tow hooks, all the accessories, the removable roof and everything. All those hidden little details and quirks that come with a Jeep Wrangler, except you get a little bit more extra. You get that extra off the line punch right off the bat. And this one, compared to the other Jeep Wranglers, isn't too much more expensive for how much more extra torque you get right off the line. Now, everyone knows that diesel engines are built more strong. They're built stronger, they're more durable. Like I said before, this has the same founding principles as the Cummins engine, right? A lot of the same moving parts within the engine. Only thing, it's been scaled down to a 3-liter V6 size instead of a 6.7-liter V8, you know. So instead of 700, 800 foot-pounds of torque that you would get on the 6.7, we're going to be doing those ones soon. Pay attention to the channel, subscribe, because I don't see a lot of people doing the big diesel vehicles on YouTube, or at least it's not popular. So if you could just imagine the power plant of the 6.7 liter, the Cummins engine, or the other diesel engines that come from, speak of the devil, we were just talking about this. Ram 2500 and 3500s are literally right here. I'm driving by them right now. And I'm going to be doing one of these vehicles next. So stay tuned for that. And this is basically kind of like the small little brother. This is the smaller off-road version of those kind of vehicles, except put into a Jeep, hence the name Eco Diesel. Now, in case you don't know, Ram, Dodge, Jeep, and Chrysler, they're all under the same umbrella. It's similar to how GM is the umbrella to GMC, Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, kind of like that. So a lot of the parts are interchangeable. They swap them over and use them for different purposes, different applications, just put a different brand on it for a different purpose, you know? This is the off-road version, so you get to utilize that off-the-line bottom-end torque, not racing torque, a torque that's usable in applicable situations, you know, everyday type situations, hauling, going all over the place, going off road, especially because this is an off road vehicle. So that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to excel off road. All right. Let's check out the interior of this vehicle. All right. So when you look at the interior of here, you see you got your little screen right here. This is your multimedia, well, semi-multimedia display for the engine and driving parameters without getting too detailed, without getting too specific into the nitty-gritties of the car. That's what this screen is for. This is for a lot of the other telemetry and engine dynamic off-road performance specifications go on over here, as well as combined with your locker right here. You got your auxiliary right here. But first, we're going to go back up here. This screen right here is controlled with the steering wheel. So you got your left side of the steering wheel. I can change this right now. It's set to the speedometer, but you can just push up or down. You can go to diesel exhaust fluid. I'll show you where you can put that in a second. You got your drivetrain, because this is a 4x4 vehicle. The Jeep Wrangler comes standard 4x4. So you can see your degrees right here in the front. When I change, it says 22 degrees, 0 degrees 2. And that's pretty cool. It helps you, in case you like to pay attention to those kind of things. You know, you're a really spec kind of guy and you like to make sure you keep an accountability on every single thing that's going on with the vehicle. So like, say if you got like a driver or a B driver or someone that's sitting on your side, you know, they can tell you, oh, turn 20 degrees this way, 15 degrees this way, almost like you're a pilot or something. That's really cool. Let's go to the next thing. Vehicle information, speedometer, we already saw that. Screen setup, get messages up here. Audio, it shows your audio, so you don't have to look over at the screen over there. And it's basically a really useful feature. One thing, as you continue watching the vehicle, one thing I really like about this car is the way that you can adjust a lot of things, and the way that the multimedia screen allows you to see a lot of the parameters of the vehicle. So when you go in this screen, right now it's already at climate control. I like the way that this screen, this is the 8.4 inch screen, it's really responsive. See, especially when it's on. When it's on, it's much faster. You see that? The way it just snaps back and forth between the different screens. You can change your input modes. If I want the air to recirculate, it's self-explanatory. But the one thing I like about the screen is just the way how it's easy to use and it's functional. I've driven some of the other versions of these screens, with the bigger screens, different. I think they put different software or something in there because it wasn't as responsive as this one. This one is my favorite one. I noticed that this screen is available in the Dodge Charger as well, Dodge Challenger, the Jeep Gladiator. Um, it's in a lot of different Jeeps, but you won't see it in every single one of them. Some of them have the upgraded 10-inch screen and some a little bit bigger screen. But see, you go into the controls, you got mirror dimmer, backup camera, self-explanatory, SM radio or SXM radio. You can come right here, you can see apps, you can see all your different things, Wi-Fi hotspot, projection manager, assist, off-road pages. Let's check that out. I like that. Now give it a second because it has to load because it's kind of like the SRT page on the Dodge Charger. You have to let it load because it's gonna let you get into the nitty gritty details of the vehicle. You see, you got nav, phone, and settings right here. That's just a little extra stuff that there. You probably won't use that as much unless you're setting up the thing, but this is probably the one that you're going to use the most, at least for the real off-roaders, because as shown over here in the main screen, you can see your degrees when you're turning the steering wheel, but also right here, you can see it right here as well. It shows your drivetrain. So you see your sway bar connected, front axle unlocked, rear axle unlocked, and it shows that I'm in 2 high and my steering angle. Now, all this stuff can be changed down here. You see, like I said, 2 high is in right now. You can change that easily to 4 high or neutral and 4 low. Also, if you want to adjust your locker right here, you put it in 4-wheel drive and you can lock the rear. Also, you got off-road plus, sway bar plus, but first, before you can adjust this, you got to put it in off-road plus. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's once you get used to it, you're gonna love the vehicle. I love the Jeep platform. I'm a little bit biased for my own reasons. The Jeep Gladiator is my favorite for usable space, but that's just me in my opinion. Some people like the Wrangler a little bit more. But to each his own. A lot of this stuff is interchangeable as far as the features that come with the vehicle, especially in the multimedia system. All this stuff is basically the same across all the off-road Jeeps, except for the Grand Cherokee. You pop this up, you got a USB, USB-C, and auxiliary. And as I mentioned before, you have the auxiliary. This is for like if you have lights or something that you want to put on the front, winter, just basically any little off-road or not off-road, but aftermarket accessories that you want to put onto the vehicle, and you can control it with the switch of a button. That's like taking the usability of Jeep and put in like modern technology. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it and makes the process of adding your extra switches and stuff, it makes it a lot easier. It also comes with a 12-volt DC. But something else I like about this is this big beefy shifter. It's really big. It's got the red accessories right here. You see red knob there, red there, and it also matches the red right here. So when you come to shift, you can switch this over to manual mode. And something you'll get used to is when you shift to manual mode, down is up opposed to up being up. So it's just something you have to get used to having this kind of vehicle. When you keep the tire size stock, it actually gets pretty decent gas mileage. It's only when you start getting a lift or you start putting bigger wheels on here, you're going to lose your gas mileage or you're going to lose a little bit of performance. But lucky you, if you get this one, you got the eco diesels, you don't got to worry about losing your power. You're going to have plenty of power still to carry you through your different upgrades and everything, right? But back up to the multimedia system for the off-road pages, you got 3 different settings right here. So you got drivetrain, which is everything that we just saw right here, and the accessory gauges. And this is useful because it helps you keep an eye on all your extra gauges that it doesn't show on the main dash right here. You see right here, it only shows a couple things. It shows the engine temperature and the fuel. You got your speedometer and you got your tachometer, RPM gauge basically. And another thing is pitch and roll. So this is for like if you're off-roading, you're doing some serious stuff, you want to make sure you stay within a safe, maintainable angle because the last thing you want to do is tip over or flip over or do something crazy like that because you want to stay safe, right? That's one of the main things. You want to make sure you make it home safe. So you got the off-road pages, you got a backup camera, and then also because this is the app page, it allows you to see basically everything that's within the vehicle right here in the app. So instead of having to search for any other things, a lot of these things are redundant because it does show them in the other settings right here. But if you want to just do it all in one kind of page, just go to the apps. Now when you look at your cup holders, you got plenty of space. This is a pretty big thermos right here. Carry everywhere. Can fit right here. You could use this little spot right here. Something I realized that the key actually goes here. When the guy came out and brought the key to me, he put the key in here. Now I never knew the key was actually meant to go right here. I always thought that this was for your phone for some reason because your phone fits there too. Like my phone, like I got an iPhone and it fits right there perfectly. So easy access, it's a nice little stable spot to put your phone if you don't want to put it somewhere else, like in your lap or something. But I think technically this spot is meant for your keys. Now, if you're a real off-roader and you want to check out the existing air, to get the airflow and get the full experience, you should know that the doors are actually pretty easy to take off. All you got to do is disconnect the electrical switch right here. A couple bolts, this thing comes right off, no problem. It's meant to be completely modular and easy for you to adjust things on this vehicle. Especially one of the things that's most common that people do is remove these two panels right here. The back one is a little bit bigger, so you're gonna have to get like a little setup. Maybe you have a little friend or a big friend help you lift this back up because you got to worry about the glass panels in the back. So usually a lot of people leave the back on there, but this right here is really easy to take off. All you gotta do is undo this clamp right here. That, 2, 3, simple enough, and it comes off just like that. Just like that. I'm already got this thing off, but I'm not gonna do that today. But just as an example, that's how easy it is. When you open this up right here, you got a nice little light. Get your vanity on. Look at yourself in the mirror. Make sure you don't got any boogers in your eye or something like that. But the vehicle right here is completely modular. That's one of my favorite things about this. When you look at the back seat, you got two speakers right here. Speaker right here and a speaker right here. And notice the fact that these speakers are down facing. Down facing because when you take the whole rig off, the whole roof off, if it rains or something, you don't want water to be getting in those speakers. So good job, Jeep, because they pay attention to detail with those kind of things. Now, let's check out the back seat. I'm 6 feet tall, and I basically left the front seat exactly how it was, where I was sitting in the front seat nice and comfortably and hopped directly behind myself. Now, if you're below 6 feet, you're going to have way more space than me, but even for myself, being 6 feet tall and I have predominantly all legs, sitting behind myself, I got plenty of space back here. So even if I was on a nice long road trip, I think it'd be for the most part, comfortable. This isn't the most comfortable backseat area to sit in. Of course, the front seat is going to be a little bit more comfortable, but the back seat, you got plenty of space to be able to load up a whole crew of people and be able to get it done. One thing that would be nice is if these back seats were tiltable, like if they can go back and forth, kind of similar to how it is in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, these middle seats right here, or back seats, can actually tilt back and you can get a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more luxury going on. Same thing in the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. But with this one, you get a different kind of luxury. You get off-road luxury. You get the luxury of having nice room in the back. So you get the luxury of having speakers. You get the luxury of being able to take the roof off. So it's just about a change in your perspective. The off-road guys know what I'm talking about, and off-road guys love this vehicle for a reason. That's the reason why. It's just about perspective. A lot of people would prefer this vehicle opposed to Jeep's new luxury type of vehicles that they're coming out with, like the really high-end Jeep Grand Cherokee or the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Those ones are almost like luxury vehicles, and they're putting brands like Mercedes, BMW, Audi, and Lincoln to the test and giving them a run for their money, because a lot of people, when you check out the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, it's more luxurious than a lot of luxury brand vehicles. I'm gonna check out the back real quick. Real quick before I go, notice back here you got two cup holders, a power switch, and it's actually an actual plug back here, as well as two sets of USB-Cs and USBs back here, as well as you got your window rollers right here. Roll those back windows up and down right here. I'm gonna get a good look at the engine, listen to it in a second, but first I'm gonna check out this back. Now you look at the back, you come standard, all of them come standard with a big old tire in the back. And before we go and pop this open, I want to give a thanks to Earnhardt, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. That's who this vehicle is with right here, out here in Gilbert, Arizona, right off the 202. One of the coolest dealerships I've worked with. A lot of dealerships don't even want you doing YouTube videos of their cars. And the fact that they're letting me do videos of their cars lets you know how cool the dealership is, all right? But back to review. When you look at the back, you see a nice Eco Diesel badge right there. And before you open it, just pop right here. And actually, if you didn't know, you can unlock all the doors just by touching this handle when the door is completely locked or when the car is completely locked. You open this first. This is kind of like a little diagram for weight and balance. Shows you where it's developed, made in USA, built in Toledo, Ohio, developed in Auburn Hills, I think Michigan. And it shows in case you plan on going in water, this is how high it go in water. Unless if you're going to be going a little deeper than that, then you're going to have to do some modifications to this as far as the air intake. But it is doable, but you're going to have to do modifications. But it's good that it shows that right there. as well as it shows the distance for the wheels. And in case you didn't know, this is a JL. It puts a nice big stamp right here. I like that. It's nice and rugged right there. Now, when you get a Jeep Wrangler, a Jeep Gladiator, any kind of Jeep, they always come with this little storage case right here. This is for those two front panels right there. You can put them in there, store your stuff in there. It's nice that they come with that, because one thing you don't want to do is just take the things off and put them in the back and they get all scratched up or something like that. So that's good to know that it comes with that. Also, you can pop this up right here. You got a little extra storage right there. So you got a little spot to put all your hardware right here. And additionally, if you want to take this off to access your, just in case you get a flat tire right here, you got your little jack that it comes with right here. And it's nice and hidden away, so it's not in the way. Tucked away as it always is in every other vehicle as well. Nice cover right here. And this one comes with a nice stereo system. So just in case you didn't know, you got to open the door first before you open that up. Otherwise, you can damage something. Also, make sure you close that back first before you close this. When you come into the back, you got a nice 12-volt right here, additional power source. And when you're in the back seat, these seats right here actually can go down. So that's good to know. Nice and simple. But it's not electric, you know. It's not like a premium vehicle. It's not like the Jeep Grand Wagoneer where you just push a button that's on the side and then the whole thing does it automatically. But it's good to know that you can still send those seats forward and give yourself extra space back here in the back seat. But check this out. Big Alpine subwoofer. It looks like it's about 10 to 12 inches right there. That's a big guy right there. And I like that it comes with, so when you're rolling down the street, you can get your nice up, get your tunes going, and have a good time and really enjoy your vehicle. Especially when you want to take that roof off, you need that little extra amperage to get this tunes going. All right, but next I'm going to go up to the front and check out the engine. Also, something that comes standard with the Rubicon is the red tow hooks. There's a lot of red features that come with Jeep Wrangler Rubicons, because red is like the custom color. That's like the trademark color for the Rubicon. You see, you got red on the wheels right here. You got red around where it says Jeep right here. Red on the trail rated, as well as red on the Rubicon right here. Now, if you had the Mojave, it'd be orange, and if you had the 4xe, it would be blue. Those are the colors that it comes with. And you see right here, tow hooks in the front are red as well. Now, the JL comes with the headlights, or this little side right here, the side light right here. Instead, before the JK used to have a little white light right here. So imagine that. If you ever see a Jeep Wrangler with the white additional headlight right here in the front as a circle, that's a JK. The way you can tell it's a JL is you see the headlight right here on the side on the fender. That's how you know you got the new one, or that's how you know someone else got the new one. Now, something I like about this hood is it's got the nice vents right here. You know, this isn't for air intake. This is for heat release. You can release a lot of heat with this right here. So you got air intake right here. Air flows in, heat flows out. I'm going to pop this hood. Something I really like about the Jeep Wrangler is the modularity, like I said before. Look at that. All I do is pop that right there. There's no switch on the inside of the vehicle that you have to hit to pop the hood. Just hit those two levers, and then that's it. Now, there's the Eco Diesel right there. Now, if you did decide to get like an exhaust, you would hear a lot more throatiness. But like I said, when you're sitting inside the cab, you can hear the fact that it's a diesel. Diesel engines have that little that throaty, knobby kind of sound. It's a signature diesel sound. It's just the way that diesel engines they work. That's just the way that they run. Everything in here is still nice and clean, nice, new. But of course, in Jeep fashion, it comes with a big old engine cover on there. And then when you go to hose it back up, it's so simple. Like that. One. Come to the other side. Just like that. Number two, easy. Now, that's not the only thing that's easy as far as modularity. You can also, if you wanted to, you can take the dang hood off. You can take the whole hood off and easy too. You got these hinges right here. You can undo this and undo the angle of the windshield right here. So the angle of the windshield is pivotable. MacGyver's going to be able to figure out how to just take the whole windshield off. You can take the doors off. Like I said, everything has hinges. Undo the bolts. The door comes right off, as well as the roof comes off. Now, the roof coming off is probably the most popular thing that everyone likes to do. Now, here's the next thing. A lot of people want to know what this vehicle costs. So I'm going to give you the breakdown. Basically, it's about $60K. Now, if you compare it to the price of the regular Jeep Wrangler, the regular Jeep Wrangler new is about around the 50s, you know, with the Pentastar, with the 3.6 liter. So if you're someone that wants a little bit more reliable diesel engine, a little bit stronger platform, with all the same stuff that the Jeep Wrangler comes with, because this is still 4x4 trailer-rated vehicle. It comes with the 410 gear ratio, but instead this one comes with a V6 twin turbo engine. Start stop. It's basically one of the most modern engines created by Chrysler. It's a Cummins vehicle engine, but it's also co-produced with Fiat. It's a Fiat-made engine. All right, keep that in mind. A little bit smaller profile, a little bit smaller, so you can have a little bit more everyday, daily kind of use. That's why it's called an eco diesel. If you know more about the eco diesel, go ahead and put it in the comments. I know y'all gonna correct me anyway. Let's get a thorough look on the outside of this vehicle. I already showed most of the stuff, but you got extra fog lights right here in the front, as well as you got the lights here above the fender and the main headlights as well. Remember, you can always upgrade the size of your wheel if you want to, but this one is 285/70 R17. It's a pretty big tire right here. It's a gloss black / matte black combination. So mostly gloss black, and the rest of the other details are going to be matte black. So you got matte black here, and matte black on the roof. The stuff that's matte black is more meant to be, it's going to take the brunt of the off-road experience, so it's going to be the stuff that's supposed to get hit by the bushes, your feet, the bushes and everything, all the tree lines and everything. Of course, the whole vehicle is going to be exposed, but that's the reason why a lot of this stuff is the matte black. It's supposed to be the rugged exterior portions of it. Now, when you get your diesel, you pop the fuel tank. You got the spot where you put your regular fuel, and you got your DEF fluid. This is where you put your DEF, in case you didn't know, is diesel exhaust fluid. That's what you need. As for diesel vehicles, you have to put DEF fluid, you have to put diesel exhaust fluid in the vehicles for them to run properly. When you look at the shocks, it got the red shocks right there, but you can always upgrade that. The red shocks come standard on the Rubicon, and they give you like a moderate level of suspension travel and a moderate semi-comfortable right on the freeway. So if you're going over potholes, it's not as comfortable as the Fox suspension, but the next level would be the Fox suspension with a little side reservoir on the side. Those ones, that's the smoothest one, but of course it's the most expensive as well. But the red suspension is better than the black ones, right? I'm talking about the dampener. There's 3 different grades. The stock, completely stock one, are the black ones. And then it goes to the red ones, like you see on here. And if you want to upgrade, you can get the Fox suspension. But one that I've seen that comes standard with the best Fox suspension available is the Jeep Gladiator or Jeep Wrangler Mojave. All right, I'm just about done with the review on this vehicle, but I want to wrap it up by showing you a couple different things. Now, I remember I met a Jeep owner who didn't even know how to shift this into 4-wheel drive high until like after owning it for a while. All you gotta do is make sure you're already driving, and when you're moving, it's really simple. It's really bright. There's no button or anything like how you see on some of the other vehicles. When you're going, just pull the shifter right here. Almost kind of aggressive. You have to kind of manhandle it. So I'll show you again. You're driving. I'm in 4 right now. Push it forward. I'm back in 2 high. When I go back to 4 high, pull it. Take my foot off the gas a little bit. Pull it back. Easy. Simple as pie. And then once you put it in 4-wheel drive, you're free to put it in off-road plus, then you can do your rear axle locker, and you can really take advantage of all the off-road potential of this vehicle. I hope you enjoyed the review of this vehicle. This is a dope off-road Jeep Wrangler. I probably think that this is probably my favorite Jeep Wrangler platform to get, the Jeep Wrangler option with the eco diesel. Not the 4xe, which is cool, not the one with the Pentastar. So if I was going to get a Wrangler, it would have to be the eco diesel, because it's right off the line. It comes with a lot of the things that the regular Jeep Wrangler is missing, that off the line power, because if you're going to be getting the Jeep Wrangler, you're going to be getting it for off-road purposes, unless you're just one of these grocery grabber soccer moms like a lot of I see around my town. It's not rare to see someone get a Jeep Wrangler and not use it for off-road at all. But I'm not like that at all. If I'm getting a Jeep Wrangler, it's getting used for off-roading damn near every single weekend. This is Slash Media. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in other videos. Also, check out my next video. I'm going to be doing one of the big Ram 2500. That's the big diesel. That's what the engine inside here is kind of based off of. This is the eco version of that. So we're going to be doing the whole big diesel vehicle. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.